Created in 2005, the DAV's Bugle Award recognizes those who have made outstanding contributions as members of the media for disabled veterans. Today, I have the distinct pleasure to introduce to you an individual who has gone above and beyond to amplify veteran voices and is most deserving of this recognition. Craig McKee is a U.S. Air Force veteran, having served for 9 years as a military journalist. When Craig transitioned to civilian sector, he kept his commitment to continue telling compelling stories that matter. His broadcast journalism career has been fueled by a passion to support his fellow brothers and sisters in arms and to advance the interests of veterans nationwide. Prior to his recent move to Arizona, Craig was an anchor and journalist for WCPO 9 News in Cincinnati, Ohio. Through his exceptional Homefront series, Craig became one of the most effective and compassionate media voices advocating for veterans, especially those who served by DAV in our founding city and region. His journalism goes beyond storytelling. He actively refers veterans to DAV for help with benefits, particularly in complicated cases where his guidance can make a critical difference. His powerful ride-along story with our DAV Transportation Network highlighted the urgent need for volunteer drivers to help veterans reach critical VA medical appointments, led to a surge in local volunteerism, resulting in more than 50 new potential volunteers stepping forward to serve. This is but one example of the tangible and lasting impact of his work. Please look to the screen for a montage of his outstanding Homefront series.
In this week's Homefront, a recognition decades in the making for a Marine from Cleves. The Department of Veterans Affairs is at the center of the fight, and local vets are holding out hope the VA will finally do what's right. Tonight on Homefront, women veterans have an identity crisis.
We found that when women veterans come back, especially from wartime deployment, there's expectations, your mom.
Welcome back from the war. Tomorrow you have to take the kids to school.
Right.
The most historic upgrade to veteran health care changed the landscape in 2023. The PACT Act changes the world for millions of veterans who fought hard for benefits.
Right now, the Major Richard Starr Act could be a solution which has bipartisan support.
You're thinking we're going to finally get the coverage that you've been asking for. Did that happen?
No. Continue to deny.
I'm not greedy, but give me what I can do.
I have graduated in many ways to a different person, and thank God for that.
All this week, Homefront is in Norfolk, Virginia with the Navy. First time that you had to actually drop that tail hook and try it.
I still remember that one, and I made it, and it's a jolt.
So nothing can really stop you at this point.
Once I'm in it, I'm hell on wheels.
You're smiling here.
I landed. So I did it right, and I'm standing up.
What is it that you get out of doing this?
I get a lot. I think it's nice to be able to help.
What does it feel like, John, to be back in this seat?
Great. If you believe in something, go out and do something about it. That's my message.
Yeah.
Saying hello and goodbye one more time.
You made that connection.
Made that connection, yeah.
Regardless of the politics of it, the real story is of those who served.
Ladies and gentlemen, for his compelling storytelling, hands-on advocacy, and unwavering commitment to veterans, it is my honor to introduce our 2025 Bugle Award winner, Craig McKee.
First, I have to thank the most beautiful person in this room, and that is my wife. 28 years ago-ish, I looked at this woman, an Army soldier, and I fell in love. 11 months later, we were married, and I know she married me for better housing, but fortunately, she did fall in love with me later, so thank you. My son is also here today, so thank you for being here and supporting me, sir. Aerospace engineer, possibly going into the Navy, we'll see. There you go Navy. A lot to be determined there. Shout out to my girls as well, my girls who have supported me through this crazy journey. You know, the DAV was not something I was very much aware of, actually, until I was in Cincinnati, and I kept going to the Cincinnati VA, and they said, hey, have you ever checked on your disability status or anything? And I'm so glad that they asked that question, because of course I said, I don't have any issues, I'm good, you know, both arms, both legs, etc. I was not in combat, I don't have any issues. And they said, BS. So Todd Sledge and his team literally dragged me down the hall to the DAV representative, and within a half hour, I was not only in the system, I had my appointments made to go through my evaluation, etc. And thanks to the DAV and the hardworking group there in Cincinnati, I'm now a lifetime member of the DAV. So I'm honored and humbled, obviously, by today's award. To Commander Daniel Contreras, members of the DAV, of course, Mr. Rob Lewis, Dan Clare, Cody Van Boxel, all there in Cincinnati, the headquarters, thank you so much. I've worked very closely with you in many of those stories, of course, to bring me here today. It's an incredible honor to stand before this room filled with such strength, sacrifice, and service. When I first heard about receiving this award, I was humbled. Frankly, I was a little overwhelmed because truthfully, telling veterans stories has never, ever been about recognition. It's been about responsibility. I've spent nearly 30 years as a journalist, but before I ever stepped into any civilian newsroom, I served as a broadcaster in the United States Air Force. Well, in that experience, where my Air Force? Where my blue? All right. Little blue on today to represent. But that experience not only shaped my career, but my sense of duty to keep serving even after that uniform came off. The challenges, as we all know, do not end when the deployment does. They just shift. Too often, the battles continue, whether it's access to care, benefits, housing, employment, or simply just being heard. And that's why I've made it my mission to use whatever platform I have to shine a light on those stories, to make sure America sees and hears its veterans, not just on Veterans Day, but every day. I've certainly had the privilege of meeting veterans from all walks of life. I'm now an honorary Manchu. Any Manchus in the house? From World War II heroes who never spoke of their service until their final days, to young men and women navigating the invisible wounds of modern war. Every story has left a mark on me. I've learned that sometimes the most impactful journalism isn't breaking news, it's breaking silence. And when a veteran trusts you with their story, it's not just sharing memories, they're entrusting me with the truth, the dignity, and often pain. That trust, of course, is sacred. Standing here today, I'm deeply aware that this award is not just about my work, it's about the power of storytelling. Journalism at its best is not about headlines, I should say, or ratings. It's about truth. And so oftentimes, it's about being the voice of those who can no longer speak for themselves. In fact, one of the first veteran profiles I ever did years ago was about a Marine who said, I don't need a parade. I just want my brothers and sisters to be okay. That struck me. because that's the heart of our veteran community, the selfless, driven by service and always looking out for one another. We have a common thread right here. I'm your brother. To everyone in here who served, we have that common thread. We're all related. You are all my battle buddy, and I am yours. Whether you live in California or New Jersey, I've received those phone calls. When I've had certain stories run, I've received those calls or emails saying, hey, can you help me? And I've been able to refer to the DAV. I've been able to pick up that phone and say, hey, I have a vet. We need to send him a lifeline, and we make it happen. DAV, of course, embodies all of those spirits that I spoke about. And what you do every day here, advocating and empowering, supporting, the very definition of leadership, of course. So to be recognized by DAV is deeply meaningful. This award, of course, may have my name on it, but belongs just as much to every veteran who has trusted me with their stories, to the producers and photojournalists who help bring them to life, and again, to my family, who inspires me to do this work with integrity and heart. I accept the Bugle Award not as a symbol of achievement, but as a reminder we still have so many more stories to tell. We still have battles to fight, and I will continue to stand with you shoulder to shoulder here as we work to make sure every veteran gets the respect, the resources, and the recognition they deserve. Thank you again, DAV, for this honor, and for never letting our veterans be forgotten. Thank you.